Kyle Richards shares sweet late-night moments at home with her pets. Kyle Richards enjoys quiet evenings at her home in Encino, often surrounded by her beloved pets. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star recently gave fans a glimpse into a peaceful night with one of her favorite companions, her German Shepherd, Luna. In a video shared to her Instagram story, Kyle filmed Luna standing in the yard, surrounded by a collection of well-loved toys. Despite the late hour, Luna was full of energy and ready to play, and Kyle happily joined in. "It doesn't matter what time it is, it's always fetch time," Kyle said with a smile as Luna barked excitedly and picked up a flattened basketball. "Oh, give me the ball. Ready to play?" she asked, panning the camera to show Luna's collection of toys scattered across the grass. Kyle and Luna share a strong bond. Back in 2020, Kyle posted about spending an evening relaxing with Luna and her youngest daughter, Porsche, while watching a movie. In 2022, she also shared a moment from a walk with Luna near the Hollywood sign. How many pets does Kyle Richards have? Kyle is known for her deep love of animals and has several dogs at home. Along with Luna, her furry family includes Bambi, a golden retriever, Storm and Smokey, two mixed breeds, Romeo, a Pomeranian, and Georgie, a Bernese mountain dog. Remembering River. In early May, Kyle posted a heartfelt tribute to her dog River, who passed away 15 years old. River had been a longtime member of the family and held a special place in Kyle's heart. "She was the most loyal dog," Kyle wrote in her tribute. "River was a foster that never left my side. She waited in the window for me every day, sat on the bath mat while I showered, and slept in my room to make sure I was always close." Kyle shared that the family gathered to say goodbye, surrounding River with love. Despite her mobility challenges, River made the effort to nuzzle each family member before passing peacefully. "She was surrounded by so much love," Kyle said. "She lived a full and loved life." Kyle Richards' Nighttime Sanctuary, a love letter to her pets. The moonlight filtered through the tall hedges that bordered Kyle Richards' sprawling Encino property. The house, a chic blend of Mediterranean charm and modern elegance, glowed softly under the California sky. The city beyond was quiet, but inside the Richards estate, the night was just beginning in its own quiet way, with a familiar bark. "Luna, it's late," Kyle called out, stepping onto the back patio barefoot, wearing a soft white robe and holding her phone in one hand. But the German Shepherd wasn't ready to call it a night. Instead, Luna barked once, low and playful, and pounced on a flattened basketball near the edge of the lawn. Her tail wagged wildly. With a chuckle, Kyle lifted her phone and hit record on Instagram stories. "It doesn't matter what time it is, it's always fetch time," she said, laughing softly as Luna dropped the deflated ball at her feet, ready for their nightly ritual. Across the neatly trimmed grass, an array of toys, squeaky squirrels, rope tugs, chew bones, lay like little trophies from an entire evening of play. Kyle panned the camera to show off Luna's stash, before lowering it to meet the eager eyes of her furry companion. "Oak, give me the ball. Ready to play?" Luna barked again, crouching low in excitement as Kyle wound up her arm and launched the toy across the lawn. The dog took off, a blur of fur and loyalty under the moonlight. These were the moments Kyle cherished, the quiet in-between, away from the glare of cameras, the swirling drama of Beverly Hills society, and the chaos of filming The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Here, in her sanctuary, she was simply Kyle, not a housewife, not a celebrity, just a woman deeply in love with her animals. A household full of heartbeats. Inside, the rest of Kyle's furry family was already settling down for the night. Bambi, her gentle golden retriever, lay stretched across the Persian rug in the living room, her golden fur catching the flicker of a candle nearby. Storm and Smokey, her spirited mixed-breed rescues, were curled up like yin and yang on a plush dog bed near the fireplace. Romeo, the tiniest of the bunch and definitely the most dramatic, peeked his little Pomeranian head from under a blanket on the couch, as if wondering whether it was worth getting up to join Luna outside. And Georgie, the family's Bernese Mountain Dog, had made himself comfortable right in the middle of the hallway like a lovable roadblock. Kyle walked back inside, the chill of the evening fading as she closed the glass doors behind her. Luna trotted in beside her, her toy held proudly in her mouth. They made their way to the kitchen, where Kyle reached into a ceramic jar shaped like a dog bone and pulled out treats for the whole crew. One for Bambi, one for Storm, one for Smokey, she whispered like a mother tucking her children into bed. The dogs wagged their tails in unison, following her movements with eager eyes. This was the rhythm of their nights, peaceful, familiar, comforting. Every dog in Kyle's home had its own story, its own quirks, its own place in her heart. Remembering River, and then there was River. In early May, Kyle had posted a tribute that moved her fans to tears. River had passed at 15 years old, an old soul, wise and gentle. A dog who had walked with Kyle through some of her life's most transformative moments. River had come into her life as a foster, but Kyle quickly realized that some souls were meant to stay. She never left my side, Kyle had written in her tribute. She waited in the window for me every day, sat on the bath mat while I showered, and slept in my room to make sure I was always close. Now, as she passed by the sunroom where River had once curled up in the golden light, Kyle paused. Her hand rested on the doorframe. The room was quiet now, and though it had been months, the memory of River's presence still lingered like a warm breeze. The final night with River had been emotional. Kyle had gathered her daughters, Farah, Alexia, Sophia, and Porsche, and each had spent a moment whispering words of gratitude and goodbye into River's ear. The aging dog, her legs weak, had made the effort to nuzzle each of them, a final act of love. She was surrounded by so much love, Kyle had written. She lived a full and loved life. Kyle wiped at her eyes as she stood silently in the hallway. Grief had softened with time, but love like that never left. It simply transformed into memory. Porsche and the pack. Porsche Umansky, Kyle's youngest daughter, often joined in on the nighttime rituals. Though now a teenager with a growing list of extracurriculars and social plans, she always made time for the pets. One night earlier that week, Porsche had insisted on making homemade dog biscuits using a recipe she found online. "These are peanut butter and banana," she announced proudly as the dogs gathered around the kitchen island. Organic, of course. Kyle had filmed a short clip of Porsche presenting the treats, while Romeo practically did cartwheels trying to reach the tray. "Romeo, they need to cool down first," Porsche scolded, laughing. The bond between the Umansky family and their pets wasn't performative. It was deeply ingrained. Kyle often joked that their dogs ruled the household, not the other way around. Hollywood walks and heartfelt memories. Though her home life was private, Kyle occasionally let fans glimpse the joy her animals brought her. In 2022, she had posted a short clip of herself walking Luna near the Hollywood sign. Luna's ears were perked, tail high, as she trotted along beside Kyle, who wore sunglasses and a baseball cap. "You can take the dog out of the yard, but you can't take the guard dog out of her," she captioned it, referencing Luna's protective nature. Luna had once leaped between Kyle and a gardener who had come around the corner unexpectedly. Ever since, she had become known as Kyle's personal shadow. Whether it was walking down to the mailbox or filming a TikTok with Porsche in the backyard, Luna wasn't far behind. Nights like these, tonight with Luna now dozing at her feet and the rest of the dogs nestled into their favorite spots, Kyle poured herself a cup of chamomile tea and curled up on the couch. A rom-com flickered quietly on the TV. The house was dim, lit mostly by candles and the glow of fairy lights strung across the windows. Her phone buzzed. A group chat with the RHOBH girls. Erica had sent a meme. Dorrit chimed in with a voice note. Sutton was arguing about an outfit from a recent episode. Kyle smiled and set the phone down. Tonight, the drama could wait. She leaned her head back, sipping her tea, and gazed around at her sleeping crew. "This is what peace feels like," she whispered. She thought again of River, of the way love carries on in new forms. Each dog had added a new layer to her home, to her life, to her heart. A lifetime of tales and tenderness. In many ways, her love of animals had been a constant throughout her life, a grounding force amid the ever-shifting tides of fame, motherhood, and personal growth. Even before she joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle had surrounded herself with pets. "I think they remind me to stay present," she once said during a Bravo interview. "Dogs don't care about how you look or what drama you're caught up in. They just want to be near you. They want love, and they give it back without hesitation." That kind of unconditional love had been especially healing during harder times. The stress of public scrutiny, family tensions, even the heartbreak of friendship fallouts. In the quiet hours of the night, when doubts crept in and sleep was far away, there had always been the soft thump of a tail against the floor or a gentle nuzzle at her hand.